it do, boo-boo? It's me. We're here for our midweek reading. I am still getting over my cold, and because I'm a little baby, I decided to wear this tank top tonight. That is, I literally have a picture of myself wearing this tank top when I was 2 or 3 years old, and I'm doing this. And I'm excited about a vase full of daisies that I had picked, and I'm on the back porch of my house, and I'm like, I'm wearing this tank top. Miracles, people, miracles. Oh my God. So another fun story about tonight. I was feeling better today, but still on like the weaker end of the deal, and maybe 68% me, you know. And I touched base with management and let them know where I was at, and they were like, well, we might have like some extra parties booked the last minute, so we may need you, but we'll let you know. I was like, okay, cool, I'll start getting ready just in case, but like, it's okay if you need to cut me, like for like people's safety and health. So I'm like, I'm cool with it. And I was like, I'll just wait to hear back from you, or I'll just like head down there. And I prayed. I was like, you know what? I'm willing to go in, but I do feel certain that everything's fine too if I don't have to. And I think it would be in everyone's highest interest if I just didn't go in. And so I got there and I wasn't on the floor plan. And for whatever reason, the message just hadn't come through that I didn't need to go to work. So another night off, an answered prayer again, you guys. So just use your prayers, say them out loud, believe them, and they really can come true. So yeah, so excited. But I did feel like since I'd already done my hair and makeup that I might as well do some videos. And so I'm gonna start with our weekly midweek reading, and then after this I'm gonna film at least May 2023 predictions. May. So thanks for being here. Please press the like button, comment, subscribe to my channel, share, leave an emoji, whatever you want to do. Any action you take is such a big help to me. And you guys, I've been inching up little by little in the algorithm lately, I noticed. So every little bit helps. So I thank you for that. And if you would like to support the channel, there are links in the description box below to PayPal and Venmo. And there are other resources, like for instance, the blog that I wrote today about the reading, which has usually a different perspective than what we talk about. So without no further ado, let's get in this. So I pulled from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle Wisdom. And this is Athena depicted with her owl, which is her helper, followed by Hope, which I think it's interesting that this woman is praying in front of lemon trees, because I feel like lemons have been a theme for me this week. There's probably something cleansing about them. I think we should all look up the magical usage of lemons. And then Union, which I love this card. I love the imagery. I love the woman's, everything about what she's adorned in and wearing. She's so goddess-like. See, it's a good thing that I didn't go to work, because see, I'm coughing. And that is like a faux pas. Oh, I gotta get the lozenge out. Oh my God, you guys, let's pause. Not brought to you by Ricola. Okay, I'm back. What an ordeal. I had to cough for a minute and have a little fit and have some tea, and now I'm here. So we left off with Union, Ace of Wands underneath Wisdom, followed by Two of Wands, followed by Knight of Cups. I love this woman is sitting on the lotus, the 1,000-petaled lotus of enlightenment, right? Holding her heart. And she looks wise, and she looks like she's holding her heart like a guitar, like a sitar, like it's an instrument that she's learned and is fine-tuned, right? And that's what we've been working on, right? Fine-tuning our instrument so that our heart is putting out the right signal for what we want to draw in, because our heart is the magnet. And our heart can be a guide, right? But we have to recalibrate it because, you know, people have been careless with our hearts, and we've been careless with our hearts. We didn't know how to establish better care, better boundaries, a better system of learning how to use that heart. So we're doing cleanup. That's what's happening this week. There's been probably emotional purging coming up for you. Everything that we came through at the end of this last year, probably the last half of 2022, is probably very challenging. I'm just a mess over here. Particularly during eclipse season. And a lot of us were probably so busy that we didn't really get to feel all the emotions and feelings that were coming through in this kind of big overhaul of things changing and moving and part shifting and things ending and coming to a close and transforming. And so there's a lot of emotion that comes with that. And I just think that we are in that wave, that tsunami that comes after all of these things have shifted, right, at a deep ground level. And I think that, you know, there's this like upper respiratory thing going around right now. And it's not COVID. And that's how people describe it. It's like, it's not COVID. And I'm like, yeah, it is not COVID. But I think that it's no mistake that we're cleansing ourselves in this area of all of this toxicity that has been left behind. And we're also purging it out through coughing, through having this pressure in our chest, this, like, you know, this virus, like pushing it all out, like pushing out all these toxins, the fever, burning it out, breaking the fever, sweating it out, purging it out. So yeah, it's like, just trust, stand in the eye of the storm. And like I've been saying, just chainsaw dance on the edge of oblivion, baby. Loving every minute of it. You know, somebody from across the world was letting me know that the storm thing stood out, and they were having a storm in the country where she's in. And I was like, oh, we're having a storm here. And we both said that it was probably really magical and cleansing. And I think it really was. And I kept getting these images of, in Forrest Gump, you know, Lieutenant Dan, like when he's raging, you know, at the gods, at his fate, you know, and he's just like fighting the storm with all he has. And he's climbed up to the top of the, I don't know what it's called, that the cell is on, is it the masts? Whatever that is. And he's up there and he's just like screaming and hollering, and he's just like fighting with a hurricane. And I feel like that's kind of like I've been feeling that. And I've been bumping Dr. Dre 2001, just like, you know, but like feebly, like a baby, coughing, like I've got consumption. Which I've been watching Peaky Blinders. It's amazing this last season. Oh my God. So yeah, things are coming up, but we are really in a reflective state about it. And we're really surrendered to this process, because as all of these things are coming up, it's almost like being faced with like this fast forward kind of recap of all of these lessons, all of these years, and how they've all tied together and how they've been culminating into these recent tests that we've been going through. And it's really put us through the ringer. And we're kind of like, wow, it is really a death. But we're going through a portal of rebirth. And so babies come out screaming, wailing for a reason. You know, we're introduced, these innocent, vulnerable, open beings, into this harsh, cruel, cold world. We're naked and we're oozing with like ectoplasm. It's like, and in a way we're kind of feeling like that right now. We're like little babies. And so you know, it's just important that we know that we're not off path, that we're just where we need to be. This is a very climactic, cataclysmic, biblical level of revelation and tribulation we've just come through. I mean, people are out there like thinking it's the end times. We're still expected to just go about our daily business. And it's like they're right, we are in the tribulation time. We are in a time of revelation, but this isn't the end of the world. If anything, the end of the world is going to be because we've overpopulated the planet, and the very same people that are so preoccupied with the end times have not been at all preoccupied with the global warming times, the plastic in the ocean times, the depletion of oil and resources, the raping of Mother Earth with no care of the garden that we were, you know, assigned to steward. So, you know, oy vey. But yeah, but right now, right here and now, we're looking at all we've come through and we're feeling wise. And we're feeling ready for this new beginning. To walk the last few steps out of that initiation portal into this new timeline. And so it's important that we hold on to foster the hope in our heart that we've worked so hard to cultivate for ourselves. And these are tender seeds that we're going to nourish and grow. They're vulnerable, they're impressionable. So be careful about the energy and the influences that you let near these new seeds, this new soul within you, right? That's ready for a next level. That's ready to be a new version of the self with all the wisdom and experience, bringing the message that you took from it all the love, all the ways that it helped you transcend, help you become more of who you are, more loving and more compassionate, more determined, with stronger boundaries and more healthy ability, you know, more emotional intelligence, ability to have healthy relationships, to communicate, to stand up for yourself, but also to share, you know, to know when to fight the battle, when to compromise. You've learned from experience, and so you're bringing the message with you. But you're leaving behind the baggage, you're leaving behind the old stories, the old patterns, right? So that we can shed that old self, let it dissolve, right? With the tears and the ocean water from the tempest, right? Just let it go down into the waters. And we're ready to rise up, be birthed out of that ambiotic fluid, salt water, right? So hold on to hope and set your imagination and your visions on hopeful images in total expectancy, seeing yourself living as you dream of being able to live now in your mind with great gratitude, you know, a whole and functional and perfect person as you are now, right? Nothing needs to change. And yet we're always wanting to expand and evolve because that's what the Creator does. You know, the Creator is ever expanding. All the emanations of the Creator, right? The world, everything around us, it's always growing. It's always like opening up. It's that that 1,000-petaled lotus. It's just always opening. And so that's why we want to heal. That's why we want to grow. That's why we want to expand, because we want to open ourselves up to a deeper and more fulfilling experience with that relationship of being part of the whole of all that is, and understanding that there's something greater than us that is within us, and that we are within, and that unites us all, right? And standing in awe of that. And so we're opening ourselves up to this at every different level, and we're revealing more of that light every time we come through these initiations. And it's bringing us, it's like melting away the shells of our limiting beliefs, of our past conditioning, of our negativity, of our selfishness, of our weaknesses, of our temperamentalness, of our tendency to want to be reactive because we want to pacify the flesh. We want to, we want to make sure that we're comfortable, But every time we let go of those layers, it reveals more of that light that's within us to our consciousness, right? This and it connects us with our super consciousness, right? In union with divine. And this gives us peace. It's like an eternal peace that's constant no matter what happens, right? In the face of uncertainty. A year ago, a year ago I had to take off work around this time of year because I had COVID and I was out of work for like a couple of weeks. And I was pretty nervous about it. And this year, I'm having to take off work for a few days because of, a cold, and I feel completely different about it. I feel secure, held, nurtured, abundant, certain that I'll be taken care of no matter what, And so it's because of a practice. It's not because it just comes naturally or just happened, right? It's because over and over and over again, in the face of uncertainty, it's like you choose certainty, and you practice and you practice and you practice. And then that brings you into this union with the Creator where you understand that it's never the job that's bringing you the money. It's never the lover that's bringing you the love and attention and validation. It's never the parent, giving you the approval. It's never that promotion. It's never the car, right? It's never that perfect outfit. It's only ever the light of the Creator that we want to feel that connection with, that fulfillment through. And so when we realize that we can have that with or without the vessels that come and go, then we are free. Nothing owns us anymore. We're self-mastered. It's funny, I was thinking today about how the disciples, especially in the Gnostic Gospels, they always refer to Jesus as the master. And it's not in a subservient, servant way, having to be obedient, or else being owned by a master. It's not like that at all. He's called master just like in spiritual and physical disciplines. When you master a skill, you have the title of master. Jesus was self-mastered. He had mastered the cosmos. He had mastered the macrocosm and the microcosm within himself. He had transcended all of these struggles that we go through in humanity, right? These portals that we walk through, leaving us like little babies again and again, dying, being reborn, dying and being reborn. So Jesus was able to be consistent, not reactive. He was able to choose to center himself. And it's not that he didn't have to maintain that, Jesus would spend a lot of time by himself in the forest, in the mountains, cleansing, recharging, but he was self-mastered. And the way, the truth, and the light that he was trying to offer us was so that we could also be self-mastered, so that we could have a sense of heaven, a sense of peace, a sense of union with the Father, the Mother, the Holy Spirit, the oneness, to be the bride of Christ, right? So all this is going on in the interior, but it's also showing up in these little ways in our lives too, showing us, reflecting back what's going on in these deep cosmic interior layers. But it's going to be okay, you guys. I think it's really going well. I think it's going wonderfully. I think that the universe is rewarding us. I think that we are being cared for and assured that Ace of Wands is like we are at a new beginning. And it's going to be exciting and whimsical. And it's like this, I love this woman here. It feels like spring. Looks like she's reading a book that's like igniting her inner passion and imagination about adventures and possibilities, things that bring her soul alight. things are coming, and we're ready for that. And we're ready to have a really strong beginning because we have so much wisdom that we're bringing with us now. We're ready to co-create the life that we've always dreamt of having for ourselves. And we're well within our means to do it, because Two of Wands signals that we've sort of gathered all our faculties and our resources, and we're at base camp 1, and we're ready to start the journey. We're prepared. We have everything that we need to set out. And so we're at the beginning, but we are set up for success, and we're encouraged to go onward, and we have direction, right? We have everything well in hand. She's holding the world. She has a grip on her physical reality. And she has the guidance of her intuition, which is a reflection of the illumination coming through from her relationship with the Most High, right? That glory coming in through the crown. So this is exciting, and it's inspiring, and your motivation is starting to kick in again. And because of that, Knight of Cups over here, this woman has fallen back in love with life. Her sense of adventure, theater, romance, creativity is like sparking once more. And she has fine-tuned her heart and her instrument. And she's ready to express that. She's ready for fun and romance and creative adventure and to be swept away once more. And so let yourself have fun with life again. And you're coming through this like huge change and shift and ordeal, and we thought we got out of that ending like with just like a big fun new year, and it was just like, oh yeah, 2023. But like this kind of like, wow, oh my God, sudden like craziness in January. It's totally cool. That's the send off. Remember we were talking about January is like the during the 2023 predictions, I wore the Louisiana jazz funeral dress because we were like, this is the death of the death phase, right? So there had to be some mourning, right? So purge complete. You're going to start feeling better. The skies are going to start, the clouds are going to start breaking, and the sun is coming through. And so it feels like we've been out at sea during a storm in a ship that we've been navigating alone in the dark. And I made a little cartoon to depict that in the stories the other day. I really liked it, but it might still be there. You should go look. My name's Liz_Taylor_Magick on Instagram. Go follow me. I think that the link is now in the video description. And check out my stories. Yeah, and because, we've come to this place where it's like, okay, we have gone through this journey of self-discovery. We've done so much healing work. We've done so much fine-tuning that we might actually be calling in a Knight of Cups. We might be calling in, a new romantic cycle in our lives. And we keep getting this, like, the soulmate card. I swear, you guys, and I know a lot of you are, like, laughing with me about it. And, like, I'm like, every time it comes up, I just want to like rip it up and be like, oh yeah, really? We're all there. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, things are happening. Things are changing. And so that means that the relationships that we're capable of are also changing. And the kinds of people that we're attracted to are changing. And the kinds of things that we will accept and not accept are changing. So pretty exciting, actually. We get excited. Stella's getting her groove back. Spring's coming. Hey. So yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. It's like activation time. We're coming online. Oh, and you know what? This was so great. In the description today, in the blog, I was talking about how I kept getting this image, right? This point that like Spirit wanted me to make about how, sometimes it seems like life is so harsh when you're on the spiritual path, and it's like, why are all these other people that are just like being assholes in life and just like not taking anything seriously? They're not like doing the work at all. Why is it so easy for them? People, they just date, they come and go, they have like success, everything just comes easily. And it's because they're not in the same game. Like when you're a spiritual person, like, and you've really chosen to be like involved with your soul and evolve in this life, like, don't worry, everybody's gonna have to face the music in the end of the day. We're all responsible for doing the growth, but it's free will. And so people who have chosen by their own free will to go on the spiritual path, they have activated this like game, right? It's like we're all in the simulation, but the people who are on the spiritual path have like activated the real game. And all of a sudden there are stakes. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can get boons and you can get bonuses and you can elevate and get better. But there are also more challenges coming at you, right? You're like fighting little men and, mushrooms and jumping on them. And like, you have to battle like your, nemesis and face your demons and slay dragons. And the people who aren't spiritual, they're like the Sims. They're just like wandering through the simulation, like eating and cleaning and like walking into walls, and they find another Sims person who they can also eat and clean with and walk into walls with, and sometimes they bump fronts, and that's fine because they have chosen to not be in this gauntlet. They can get pretty intense sometimes, but some of us are kind of like the evil Knievels of life, and we're like, we're kind of like Lieutenant Dan's out there, fighting storms, and that's cool too. But it's not that we're being punished as spiritual students. It's just that we're in a discipline, and the master has to be strict with the student if the student wants to progress. Think about martial arts, right? A good sensei is not going to be soft and nice. Not going to seem like it. They need to be strict. They can be kind and caring, a good mentor, but they're not going to let you be sloppy. And so in Kabbalah, we learn when you're a spiritual student, you go under, if you're like starting to become an elevated soul, you go under what is called direct supervision of the light, which means when you know better and you do something that you know is a no-no, and let's just leave it simple. You do something you know is a no-no, you will get repercussions much quicker and much more direct than, say, someone who's not a spiritual student. So yes, it does seem like things are stricter sometimes, or that we get more challenges. But the thing is that everyone in life is going to have their challenges. It's just that now at least we have some kind of context around it, and we can turn it around and turn it into gold. So there's that. All right, y'all, I'm going to actually stop this video now, and I'm going to go ahead and record our May predictions for 2023, and maybe if I have any energy, June. All right, ciao.